the original shows are great. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, what I would do, especially right now, because Hollywood is shut down because of COVID. You know what I mean? Like they really can't film anything, or they got to be careful.
Okay.
If I was NBC, what I would do, I would, because NBC, I believe, at the end of the day, own. Well, let me back up. I don't know if they own the rights to it anymore, but they were the original producer, and it was an NBC show. If I was NBC, I would do what I can and say, hey, you know what? We're going to re-air The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for the time being until we could get back making new episodes of different shows. Mondays at prime time. Just how it was back. Because remember back in the day, well, I don't know how it was out here in Texas, but the programming schedule in Louisiana, Mondays, you had Cosby Show, you had Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you had Blossom, and then there was some other, I forgot. I think by that time I was in bed. So at 7 o'clock, you had Fresh Prince. 7:30 was like Blossom, and then 8 o'clock was the Cosby Show. So I'm sure there was another show on after that, but it was my bedtime. I was in elementary school, whatever. But if I was NBC, I'm like, fuck it, we're gonna air Fresh Prince back on, and I would pump as much advertising into it as they do their new shows that they want people to watch and shit. And I bet you $1 million people are tuning, especially those without cable, because everybody could get NBC with fucking antennas. You know what I mean?
But see, here's the thing. It's I still watch all them shows. Rest in peace, Michelle Thomas from Family Matters.
Hell yeah! Ooh, damn, she was fine.
Yeah, that was sad.
Ooh.
But I was gonna say I don't think it's about wanting to air old episodes. I think Will Smith saw a vision and wanted to give an up and coming producer a chance, because the guy was on Twitter and social media promoting this reboot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's about airing The Fresh Prince or re-airing it. I think he just wants to do the reunion, kind of like promote, and then he's supposed to come out with this reboot that he's already said that he was going to executive produce with this producer. You see what I'm saying? I don't think it's about old episodes. I really think he just this is like, have you seen the trailer? It's like a dark, gloomy.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah,
it kind of looked like a thug, like a
yeah, I saw it a while back.
Yeah, like a thug movie or something.
That's great and all, but at the same time,
somebody laughing. I don't know what the fuck I said.
There's so much stuff out there. Like, I guess I'm the kind of person that's like, tell new stories. You know, like there's so many people out there with different ideas and scripts. And even like with fucking books, and I'm not trying to plug my personal friend, but like I know 2 chicks who are authors, badass authors. Of course, one being Dicey, and the other one, shout out to my homegirl, Ashley Nemar. So it's like, if I was a producer or something in Hollywood, I would go to a fucking library or something, or I would go online and Google, authors and try to buy the fucking screenplay rights or something of their books, and see if we can adapt that shit to fucking television or a miniseries or a movie. Like, stop rebooting shit when there's so many fucking creative people across this fucking country that have new and fresh ideas. You know what I mean? Like,
I get what you're saying, but unfortunately,
because I ain't gonna lie, the Fresh Prince reboot, I don't care. I'm sure it's gonna be a hit. I hope it's a hit, but I'm not fucking watching it because it's like I've already seen the Fresh Prince. You know what I mean? Like, I like me personally, I like the Fresh Prince I grew up on, and I understand things change and shit, but I don't need to see a darker, grittier Fresh Prince. To me, it didn't call for that. And I get it, the times that we're in and everything, but it's just like, nah, I'll pass. That's just me. I'm pretty sure that there's others like that feel like that, but it may not be the popularity. I mean, everybody's hyped up about the reboot. It's just like, nah, I'm not.
I mean, I will check it out to do comparisons and to see how it turns out. I mean, I will check it out.
Yeah.
Just to see. I mean, it was cool. And I'm like the same thing with the reboots. I see them and I just be like, damn, it's surely something else to talk about. I mean, but
you look at like Netflix, for example. The number one show right now on Netflix is a show called The Boys, right? Not to get too much into it, but it's basically a show about a group of superheroes who they go out and save the day. but behind closed doors, they're actually villains. Like one superhero, he's a motherfucking he's like a sexual assaulter. Like okay, you know, like you got the Avengers, right? Imagine the Avengers. They go out, they save the world, they stop bad guys, they save, you know, the elderly and stuff.
Right.
But once they go back to like their campus, their skyscraper, their hideout, whatever you want to call it, they're like demented because of the pressures of being a superhero. So like this one dude who is season 1, he can make himself invisible. You know what he does in his spare time when he's not chasing bad guys? He goes in the women's restroom and he just watches them. He can make himself totally invisible. He just watches women.
Like Kevin Bacon did in that movie.
Oh yeah. Another guy, the dude who's like their version of Aquaman, he was giving a rookie a tour of like their superhero facility or whatever, and she actually opened up. She's like, "Oh, I had such a crush on you growing up. You were my favorite one out of the 7." And he pulled his pants down and started jerking off in front of her.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
no.
but get this. Guess where guess where Amazon Prime got that from? The Boys is actually a comic book series. See, again, Amazon could have rebooted something. I mean, Amazon got a shitload of money, right? So they could have bought the rights to Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Let's reboot Hanging with Mr. Cooper. Let's reboot A Different World or whatever and film the shit at Prairie View or Texas Southern. But no, they said, hey, there's a comic book series out there because, you know, the whole superhero thing is still big. So there's a comic book series out there about superheroes who behind closed doors are twisted and sadistic fucks and got all these damn issues and stuff.
Right.
Then let's make a show about that because it's something that hasn't been done before on cinema. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I commend them for that. That's, you know, I'm just using The Boys as to show The Boys as an example. But, you know, I mean, it's like, man, like, come on, give us something new, you know?
No, I'm all, like, I totally agree. Like, it would just be more exciting if it was something new. But I seriously think that Will Smith just really sees something in his kid. And I really appreciate Will Smith because so many people get up there and they will fucking forget that they didn't just grow up in this shit and royalty. Like some people do, but then some people didn't. And someone gave you an opportunity one day. Someone believed in you. But some of them get up there and they will look like, I see you grinding, I see you trying, but yeah, good luck with that because I'm not helping you. And I think that's cold, you know? But I like the fact that Will Smith, I mean, the guy, it wasn't like the first time he tagged him, Will was like, okay, I believe when I saw the story on social media, the guy just kept consistently tagging it and everybody just started like, oh, I like that. Let me tag Will Smith. And he kept seeing it so many times that he was like, let me see what this little dude talking about. And he actually kind of liked it. And it went from there. I just think it's about giving someone an opportunity. And if that's the reason why they're doing a reboot, then I'm okay with that. Because all it takes is one person to say, I'm going to give you a chance.
And I agree with that, but at the same time, like you can have that. That's like the dude who made that. I would tell him, and this is just me. You know, I'd be like, if I was Will Smith, hey man, you know, that's great, but the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is dead. But what else you got for me? Like, I want to hire you on my team. You know, but you have anything? Obviously, you're a passionate Fresh Prince fan and aficionado. Thank you, but let's do something else. You know,
I don't know. It might be good though. Think about it. These new kids. I mean, it's a different era. When Uncle Phil was doing Fresh Prince, it was like kind of like the 80s kids. So we got
90s,
they got those. You had the parents that talk to you. You had the parents that like
that's the fuck we need nowadays.
No, it might be what we need, but this is not what's happening. You got younger women having kids, younger men having kids, and they more like a friend to their kid. They more like, hell, you got some kids smoking with their parents, or parents know that they vape and stuff. And I'm not saying that that's cool, but I'm saying like this new reboot is gonna be more like for younger generations. You know what I'm saying? How involved is Will though? I don't know. I just know he's executive. He's an executive producer. And that's as much as he's spoke on it. I don't know if he's gonna be helping with the writing or probably the directing though. Cause him and
I can
Jada
see
have
it
their
being
own
in-
directing, like,
Yeah.
and they probably do casting calls and shit. But
I bet you Jada ain't gonna be around the fucking casting, directing and shit. Fuck that.
you bet Jada why?
Shit. Will ain't gonna let her get in another entanglement. Fuck that shit.
Entanglement with
But
who?
boom, I'm just saying. Like, Will
Boy.
probably gonna let Jada be around no other dudes for a while.
You ratchet, very ratchet. It's a damn shame. Now see, I wasn't even trying to take it there.
I had to. I saw that opening. It's like football, you see that opening, the defense. You gotta.
Yeah, I was just trying to keep it a clean. You know what I'm saying? Like just that's they.
I would not let, if I was Will, I would not let Jada cast any of the men, young men too. So they gotta find Carlton, they gotta find Jazz, they gotta find a Will, they gotta find other like classmates for the school and shit. Jada, if I was Will, Jada doesn't have shit to do with looking for the guys for the fucking
Your ass is
series.
crazy.
Fuck that. Hell nah.
Someone Jermaine said I think it's Will's baby, so whatever he do with it probably gonna be fire. I agree. I think that's why I said I'm all for
Let
it.
I'm sorry.
I'm all no. You can never replace Uncle Phil, but I do think it's cool for the younger generation to get a new Fresh Prince. I think that'll be different, And then they was like, get rich or die trying Fresh Prince. It was like hood. Remember that part when it go in West and a couple of guys, it was up to no good. Remember that part? It was company on the reboot.
Yeah.
On the reboot, it was like hood. It was like, hey, you hit me with that ball. Like it was like hood. Yeah. I was like, damn, that's crazy. Like you don't see Fresh Prince like in that type of realm.
Yeah.
Hood.
Well, no, they had a couple of dark episodes on the Fresh Prince because there was an episode where Will and Carlton went out to like
Magruka Park.
They went out, and Vivian came. The original
that
Aunt
shit.
Viv.
Carlton wouldn't last a day in Magruka Park. And remember he did?
And remember they had fucking Debo in there, the dude who played Debo. He was in that episode.
And she said, get your ass up.
Because Viv, the background, she was from the hood, kind of. So, like, she went there and she could, like, oh, my boy's coming home. You better sit your ass down. And, like, big ass D was like, yes, man.
She was at the house and she said, somebody say, where's Carlton? She said, Magruka Park. I remember that episode like it was yesterday. It's like literally one of my favorite episodes.
Yes, I know the new Fresh, but they're gonna make it darker and grittier for today's audience and stuff. But like I said, I hope it does well. I hope it becomes a success and trending and all that kind of stuff. But for me, someone who's I'm naturally just a nostalgic person. Like I'm fine with the way your Fresh Prince is. The group, I learned a lot. Got a lot of fond memories of watching it with my parents and shit.
Right.
It's like. That's it's one and done.
That was my favorite TV show, Dad.
My favorite one. Oh, I've had favorite TV show, Dad. Mine's changed over the years.
Okay.
I guess like maturity level and stuff. Because at one point, Bill Cosby was like when I was real young. Bill Cosby was my favorite TV dad. Then Uncle Phil for a little bit. Then for a little bit, go give me He Fist with Al Bundy.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Al Bundy, hell yeah. Blue collar working guy. I
could not stand his nasty ass. Digging in his fucking pants, scratching on his balls. He was disgusting, bro.
Al Bundy was the shit.
How the hell, out of all people?
That's why when I was in high school, it was like middle schoolish, high schoolish, like 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade. It was Al Bundy.
I could not stand his ass.
I remember when the show went off the air. Me and my parents, we used to Thursday nights on Fox. Fucking right, we used to watch Married with Children.
I watched it sometimes, but I couldn't stand him. His wife was dingy as hell, but she was cool. I didn't like his kids.
Bimbo,
You know who I liked? I liked the neighbor. What's her name? Dorothy. What you getting your ass up for? Her sarcastic, smart mouth ass. She would tell you how it was. She would get on Al Bundy's ass.
For that ass
okay,
time.
but still, she was real. I liked her. That's the only person I liked on that show.
The only thing I wish that they would change about Married with Children, if I could go back in time and like give the writing team advice. I wish they would have did more episodes at the shoe store, because like when the women come in and shit, I love those fucking fat jokes and shit. The customer, because like being an adult now and working in different types of customers, I worked in call centers, I work in e-commerce now, and I worked in retail and shit, and it's like that shit be fucking true. Like customers come in and ask the dumbest fucking questions, like, "Is this a shoe store?" "Oh no, there's just fucking hundreds of pairs, $1,000 worth of shoes in here." Just because we got a fucking shoe fetish. Yeah, it's a fucking shoe store. You know what I mean? Like, oh man. Like I had a customer today at my day job, adamant that our location's where her order is and shit. So I asked her, hey, she had a smartphone, and I was like, hey, can I see your email? And she's like, yeah. I took 2 seconds, literally 2 seconds, look at the email. Her location is where her item is, her order wasn't. My location was over off of Yale, and I'm like, man, that's why I can't pull you up.
Oh,
yeah, it's like, and that's why I was saying, like when I got in the car with you today, it's like, if motherfuckers stop it, fucking read. You know what I mean? Read.
I don't think people read no more.
They don't.
I have a bio, and people will still be like, "What do you do?" It's in my bio. You
know one thing.
That's the first thing I look at on a page.
You know, it's one thing crazy about me as a photographer. Whenever I post up pictures on my photography page of the different models I work with, I'll have a creepy guy inbox
a creepy guy.
Yeah. And saying something explicit. Well, they don't say anything explicit, but it's like, hey, baby, how you doing? And I have to explain to them, like, hey, I'm a photographer.
They think you're the girls.
Exactly. Especially because, you know, like what I do, like, let's say our next photo shoot. I take, a dozen pictures of you, right? And I spread them out over the week, So someone going to my page for the first time because of a particular hashtag or something, right? And they'll look and it's like, okay, the first thing you see is like you see 5 pictures of, let's say, Miss Blue. They go in my inbox like, oh, you got some nice styles. It's like, well, I'll pass that along to Miss Blue, but I'm her photographer.
Yeah.
We just did a shoot. I'm showing off the new work. Hit her up and da-da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like,
hit her up and get your ass blocked.
Right?
Hit her up.
I'll be blocking motherfuckers
just for speaking. And I know that's mean, but it's just like, unless it's business.
Like you said, people don't read. It's like if you go on my
intentions?
bio and read, hey, I'm a photographer, and then you see all the kind of work you see behind the scenes, and occasionally I'll post a picture of myself. It's like, come on, people don't read.
Yeah, no, yeah, I already know. That's why I be like, so on Facebook, I changed my whole bio. I said, what did I say? I said, please read bio. I do not respond to DMs. If it's not business, stay out of my DM. So now on my page, I just put, read my bio. It has stopped. Now, I just blocked someone recently because they still tried it. And I was just like, these motherfuckers just don't get it.
I know. I don't blame you one bit.
And then don't call. Don't call me.
Oh, yeah, they got
I don't
the way
even
that
know
people,
you. Like, why are you calling me? That's that Facebook feature?
Yeah, I think Instagram got that too. They could call you. Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram got that too.
I've seen a lot of people.
But you can mute. That. You can mute a lot faster on Facebook. It's like so many different steps you gotta do to prevent someone from calling you. It's annoying. You gotta look and delete. Yeah, you could delete from messaging you and block you on your actual main page.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't read bios.
Yeah, motherfuckers don't read it at all.
EP coming out. Why you stop doing music? Motherfucker. I just said EP is coming out. God damn it. What do you mean I stopped doing music? Like, it's in my bio. Everything. Like, bro, like, you know what? If you ain't got nothing nice to say, you don't say it at all. Yeah. That's what my grandma used to say.
Man, fuck that. We live in.
No, that's what one of my grandmas. My mama will say it. Oh my gosh. Nah, I'm all for the reboots. For the Fresh Prince, that is. And then I guess we'll have to see how it goes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is, do you see it lasting, what is it, a season? That's the thing. It got to be good. If they're going to do it, the storyline got to... Because what I'm wondering is this. I wonder if it's going to be brand new episodes, or are they going to be remaking like the episodes? You know how like the first Fresh Prince episode, and then they make the new one, like counter doing, I know you're talking the about original.
I got you. That's a good question.
See? Ooh, that would be... Oh, if they do, I hope they redo the one where Well, now see, well, that's the thing, because Fresh Prince originally was a comedy. This is not gonna be a comedy. This was straight like
I
gangster.
I think it's gonna be more of a drama.
So see, I was thinking. Remember when Jeffrey thought he won the lotto and Will Smith tricked him? He thought he won the lotto. Wait a minute, really? That's one of like the all-time favorite ones. He thought he won and he quit, and he was like, "I quit, I quit." He quit working for him and everything because he thought he won.
Nah, I don't remember that one.
Yeah. Well, look, I'm not
gonna. An episode of Martin where Martin thought he won the lottery, but he did. But it was divided up with like 20 different people.
Yeah, no, not
so him and Gino like we're on a spending spree.
Not that one. Not that one. It was definitely they got Jeffrey. Poor Jeffrey. He thought he was like, I quit. I won the lotto. He didn't want to do shit no more.
Yeah, I gotta look out for that.
He was telling them off and everything, like And it was like Uncle Phil was like,
I can see him. Fix your own damn
He looked at Will like, you better fix this shit. Like that don't sound right. Jeffrey winning the lotto. Come on.
Oh shit! Nah, I don't remember that one. I have to look for that one.
You gotta
online. Shit.
You got me thinking of like the old school episodes and just laughing.
Like I talk to some of my friends all the time. It's like, in my opinion, the best era of just excluding movies. Like to me, the best era of television was in the late 80s up to the mid 90s.
Oh yeah. Now what era though? You talking about like our hood era, like Dead Presidents, Set It Off type shit? Or
No, the television.
You talking about television shows?
Shows, yeah.
Or like Sister and
exactly. I mean, you had.
I agree.
Even some of the more adult shows. You had like NYPD Blue. You had New York Undercover.
Heat of the Night was a good one.
Oh, my mom loved fucking.
I liked Mr. Tibbs.
Tibbs, hell yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Rock.
Yeah, Rock was a good one.
You know what about Rock? What? Think about it. Back in the day, and I was just a kid remembering these like episodes. But if you watch Rock episodes, it got a lot about shit that we go through now. It was so political, remember?
It was ahead of its time.
It really was. I think that's why I didn't last like that. I'll give the respect that it deserved. I'm serious, though.
I was just about to say it because, like, if memory serves me right, Rock did not last that long.
It didn't, because they talked about crooked cops. Remember the episode where, like, his brother, I think, got beat up? Remember his brother was, like, off and on jobs, didn't take life serious, freeloader.
It's on Amazon Prime. I'm about to pull it up since
like I think his brother, I can't remember his name, he got beat up by an officer or something, and Rock was angry about that. And it kind of, now thinking about it as a kid and now an adult, we really go through that. But that show, I never hear it brought up among shows that was like life changing and things that you learned from. They sleep on that show a lot. That show was good.
Of course, one of my all time favorite comedies, in Living Color.
Oh man,
Living Color was another one that was ahead of its time.
Who didn't like Living Color? That show birthed so many greats.
Single,
you know what about Living Single?
What's that?
When I read the after story about Living Single, I had a newfound respect for that show. I like that show, but do you know that they got played for Friends? And it was racist. They didn't even want to pick up the show because they felt it was beneath them on that channel. I forgot what channel.
NBC had Friends, yeah.
Yeah, they thought that nobody wants to hear about the hood cast. And the hood cast, well, I'm not going to say they... they kind of outshine Friends. But then Friends had bigger stars too, though, if you think about it.
Really, they did, because the Lisa Kudrow and Matt LeBlanc, they were all pretty much no names. The show
Jennifer
Friends,
Aniston, though.
Jennifer Aniston. Okay, let me ask you this: what was Jennifer Aniston in before Friends? Name anything. I'll wait.
No, I can't. But I'm sure she did movies. I'm just saying because she's just not on my list.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, like, I mean, everybody who was involved with Friends, and I never watched an episode of Friends. I swear to God, I never watched a single episode of Friends. But the show is so popular; it's a part of television and cult history that I can name names: Matt LeBlanc, Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston. There's that dude that played in The People vs. OJ. David Schwimmer. Okay, those are the only ones I know. Yeah, he's a damn good actor.
He plays good movies.
Yeah, He was in a miniseries on Fox, The People versus OJ. He played Robert Kardashian. Dude's fucking.
He played an apt pupil. His part was minute, but it was still like he does his thing. Yeah.
But the show Friends made those guys on Friends, made the cast stars, and you think about it too. NBC for years have been the biggest television, broadcast television station network, and they had tons of money to pump behind the show. Where Fox at that time, I mean, Fox was a big network at the time, but Fox didn't have the money to pump in the advertising like NBC did Friends, which is why Living Single.
So Living Single was on Fox, not NBC?
Yeah, Living Single was on Fox.
Oh.
Well, I don't know what the programming schedule was out here in Houston, but I remember growing up in Louisiana, in southeast Louisiana.
Maybe.
We had, on Thursday nights, it was Martin, and I don't remember the exact order, but I remember these shows. At 7 o'clock, I think it was Martin. 7:30, I want to say it was Living Single. And then at 8 o'clock, from 8 to 9, was my mom's favorite, one of her favorite shows, because she loved cop dramas, New York Undercover.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. Well, if I'm saying it right, I think Living Single was thought of before Friends, and NBC
Living
copied.
Single, Living Single,
and they sold better. I mean, well, not sold better, but they had much higher ratings than in Living Single.
Yeah, Living Single.
Living Single. It was messed up, but I mean,
and I'll tell anybody out there listening, if you go on YouTube, go to Comedy Hype's YouTube channel. On Comedy Hype's YouTube channel, the dude who played Overton, I forgot the cat's real name, but he talks about that. He talks about how NBC they basically copied and pasted Friends, copy and paste Living Single, and put a whole bunch of like he says it just like that. And then Comedy Hype, they interview like the cast members of Living Single over the years. Like they interview Kim Coles, Kim Fields, and the chick that played Max, escapes my name. I think they also interviewed the dude who basically they interviewed everybody except Queen Latifah. For some whatever reason, Queen Latifah doesn't do that many interviews or whatever, so she won't go on Comedy Hype. But they all basically, I mean, they say it different ways. Like out of all of them, the dude who played Overton, he says it the most blunt. Like, hey, they fucking copied us.
Right.
But everybody else, basically says like, yeah, NBC copy and paste Friends. And I think the only reason that like Fox never pursued any legal action, there's that rule where it's like if you change something just enough, you can't get in trouble. It actually becomes like its own thing. Right. You know what I mean?
I mean, and then they did it good too, though. You go from all black to all white. Now, had it been another show with all black, I think they could have raised the fight. But this was totally a white cast.
Well, not only that, but even like the plot. Well, because think about it too. On Friends, they actually had a hangout spot. And I know this just from just kind of observing. They all met up like at a coffee shop, right? Living Single, they all met up at Queen Latifah's party. You know what I mean? Like, so it was things like that too within the stories. Like Friends, they meet a place was at the coffee shop. The black people, I mean, think about it, black people, we don't really meet up at coffee shops. We meet up at people's houses. Like, hey, come to my house, You know what I mean? Like, that's just how we,
That's kind of messed up. It's just like whoever did Michael Myers and Jason.
Yeah.
That's the same serial killer.
Yeah, more or less,
yeah.
Or better yet, like with one of mine, like Star Trek and Star Wars. It's more or less.
Yeah, that's
and Star Trek was long before Star Wars.
So who copied who.
I debate this all the time with people in the geek and nerd community. It's like the dude George Lucas, who's the creator of Star Wars, and he's even admitted before in different interviews, he's still around today. He's still alive, and he's like, he was inspired by Star Trek. So and actually the dude who created Star Wars was actually at one point real good friends with the guy who created Star Trek, Gene Roddenberry. Gene Roddenberry passed away like in '92, but they knew each other and they actually collaborated.
That's fair. So he basically he had influence. From one of his favorites. So that's different when you pay homage and say that.
Versus
you just really just cheated a whole show out of it.
And actually, a lot of the Star Trek the old school Star Trek movies with William Shatner, the special effects, far as like when they do the space shots of the ships and shit, that was actually done by George Lucas's special effects company. So the people behind Star Wars actually designed the ships and the cinematography of like the ships blown in Star Trek. Yeah.
Wow.
So,
you know, they always they are much different. But another show that's slept on sometimes, Alfred Hitchcock. Did you like him?
I never too much. My dad was a big Hitchcock fan.
Yeah,
I never really.
I never
really watched it.
That dark drama.
Yeah.
Dark drama. Yeah.
Yeah, I know my dad was a big fan of it. Damn, what else? I miss. Fuck man, I just miss the fucking 90s and shit, man. Like,
who don't miss the 90s though?
Because I remember
everything was the shit.
Like think about like today, if it wasn't for COVID, everybody is finding somewhere. I don't care where you live at in the country. You could live in a rural town, suburbia. 9 times out of 10, people don't watch television like they used to on a Friday night. But back when I was a kid, everybody was fucking home on a Friday night. You was watching TGIF. You was watching Family
Your
Matters,
favorite shows, yeah.
Step by Step, Hanging with Mr. Cooper, Perfect Strangers. You know, every so often they mix it up. They add new shows, take off. You know, your Full House was a part of it at one point. You know, damn, feel like I'm forgetting something. You know, like everybody stayed home and watched TGIF. You know what I mean? You know, like you know that was a thing. You know, you know. I mean now, you know, it's 2020 and you know there's so much. Especially like if you live in a major city like Houston, you got sporting events, you got restaurants, you got Dave and Buster's, you got a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's different. But like you said, a lot of the shows that's on now is some kids. I'm not gonna say all. We doing like era of reality TV. Everything is a reality TV show. A lot of the kids is just not interested in it.
Yeah.
And then if you notice too, the reality TV shows they focus on like an older crowd of people.
Yeah,
it's not a young crowd of people, except for you got the kid reality show. Growing Up Hip Hop. Yeah, other than that, everything is about women, men, relationships, marriages. Yeah. These kids don't want to see that, so they gaming.
Yeah, gaming. Big,
gaming is big and outside. Like you said, at parties or movies. I half of the time I don't watch this shit either. I watch my crime shows, ID Discovery, License to Kill, Botched.
I love Botched, man.
Perfect Murder, shit like that.
That's good. I wish, man, like Botched. I was thinking the other day, and I put this on my personal Facebook page. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm always fascinated with like those extreme plastic surgeries that like you wonder like how the fuck this person is even functioning. Like, you know, like I'll just go out, it's like the woman, like women out there with the beach ball sized breast implants and shit. Like, how the fuck the skin can stretch that far? You know what I mean? Like, and even like the women out there with like the crazy ridiculous size ass because they've had like 20 Brazilian butt lifts and shit. It's like, okay, again, how does the skin stretch? It's like, man, I would love to have, if there's a woman like that in Houston, I would love to have her on my show just to, you know, talk about her journey. Like, okay, like, what made you wake up one day and just say, oh, I want to have some of the largest breast or ass or whatever in the world?
I seen an episode on Botched where the lady was like super skinny, like where it looked probably unhealthy, and the doctor. But I'm so glad this doctor didn't give a damn about her money. Because it ended up looking like might
Dr.
hurt her.
And Dr. Nassif, they don't care about the
money. She kept saying, I want my boobs done. And she's this freaking big, and her boobs are huge. It looked like pain. And she's like, I just want my boobs done again. And I have the money. And he's like, ma'am, I don't care about the money. This is not safe. He said, if I give you another cc of injections, your breasts are going to be so large you're going to tip over because she's that little.
See, that's why I couldn't be a plastic surgeon, because I'd be number one, like freaks and shit like that fascinate me, and then two, I love the money. I'd be thinking, okay, morally, I took the what they call it, the Hippocratic Oath, as a doctor, as a physician, do no harm. But then, she's already 120 pounds with some motherfucking J cups. So let's see if we could kick these
that
motherfuckers
is awful.
up to some fucking Z's. Like, put some
So I'm
Z's
so
on
glad
it.
that you're not a doctor, because you should definitely tell your patient, ma'am, that's not going to look good on you. And he was very brutally honest. He was like, ma'am, it's not going to look good on you.
Beholder, I would be a fucking plastic surgeon that specialized in those extremes. Like, okay, you want beach ball size titties? I'm your man.
Yeah, but it's not. But the thing is, even though people are doing it, they're probably doing this like it's a botched job for a reason. So she probably went where someone did what you said you would do and gave it to her, still knowing that there's a risk.
Yeah.
When you go to a professional doctor, they will tell you, I can't not do this because you can die.
Yeah,
he was basically saying you're going to die, and she was just like, I just want my boobs bigger. I was like, you airheaded ass bitch. Do you not hear what this man just said?
Go ahead and get that Cash App.
You're
Dr.
gonna die
Betty with 2 R's. And is Sunday good for you after the Saints game?
You know what? You pissing me off, bro. You pissing me off because you're supposed to care about the people, man, not the money. Like, if you see somebody coming up in there messed up, not telling them to go to what you said, a J cup, and they already a fucking H cup. You should say, it's not even cute. You look crazy.
Shit, crazy, awesome. I'm sorry.
You know what? I'm gonna end that conversation because I'm really mad because
man, don't be mad.
Doctors
don't be mad.
I tell you all the time, like, how doctors are so critical. You know what I'm saying? Not to like go on some preaching thing, but you should be able to trust doctors if you can't trust any profession of
Fair
work.
enough, yeah.
It's so you should be able to tell me when I'm becoming obsessed with cosmetic surgery, you're going too far, you need to stop before you start looking like some other type shit. You should be able to tell me that instead of encouraging me to continue to keep doing something that's making me look crazy or I could possibly die from.
Hey, be like, say, everything's bigger in Texas.
She's not even from Texas. She was from Cali.
My practice is in Texas. Shit, the Berry Medical Practice.
I'm gonna make sure you get shut down.
The Berry Medical Practice is in Texas. That would be my slogan. You know what? Maybe I should go to medical school. Because U of H just opened up a medical school. Yeah, maybe I should go. Shit.
Cali girl, you did not want the boobs this girl had. Yeah. Trust me.
Shit, let me pull up motherfucking my favorite out there right now, motherfucking Allegra Cole.
No. I know you're not about to show the lady you tweeted.
Yeah.
That's
Allegra
not
Cole,
cute.
You're right, it's not cute. It's immaculate.
What's immaculate about that?
It's just something you don't see like, I would love to have her sitting here and let me pick her brain like, ma'am, you know, I actually do her interview standing up. Like, just stand up to the side. Okay,
I'm not going to be there that day when you interview her.
Fair enough. More room for us.
Because I don't want to, I know my expression, like, ma'am, why you got all that going? It's too much, bro.
I mean, excuse my co-host, my friend. She over here player hating.
No, I'm going to just be on my phone with my head down like, I'm not saying nothing.
I'm about to say, you got to take some behind the scenes pictures and shit, you know.
Chris,
I
can't.
I suppose you going to get Chris to do it?
Yeah. Oh, he heard like... Okay, look, y'all. I gotta get ready to go. Sabrina the model is on her way. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate you guys.
Sabrina the model, eh? Hey.
With his chicks, so we looking like pardon, son. 45-inch and it's worth the ton. We long, so they thinking I'm Brazilian.